Tesla's master plan is on track, and we're going to go over all the 3 master plans and like a little bit of a review, but then later there's some awesome data that I want to show you guys on how Tesla is on track despite all the price cuts coming along. So if you guys are ready, man, without further ado, let's get down to the video. All I ask return is a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you guys haven't got your I bought the Deb t-shirt, man, then I have no idea what you guys are doing. I'm wearing one right now. If you guys want to support this channel, get it over here, all right? Link card in the corner. All right, let's get it. Starting off with master plan number 1 that Elon wrote here, the secret Tesla Motors master plan just between you and me. Now, obviously, this is long. If you guys want to read this, you guys can check the link in the description. Link of this will be in the description. But this was made in August 2nd of 2006, like literally 17 years ago from today, which is absolutely a sheesh moment. But you guys, I mean, look at all this. I'm not going to read all this too. This video will be over an hour long. So you guys, again, can check the link in the description, check master plan number 1. But in short, the master plan is build a sports car. Use that money to build an affordable car. Use that money to build an even more affordable car, while doing above also provide zero emission electric power generation options. Don't tell anyone. I mean, guys, I hope nobody told anyone, because this is, I mean, back in 2006, Tesla was nothing. They haven't even made the Roadster back then. And I'm pretty sure all other competition, Toyota and Honda, is like, this company, EVs, nah, they're gonna go bankrupt. Well, how times have changed, right? But build a sports car. Tesla made a Roadster in 2007, 2008, sold it. They used that money to build the Model S and the X. And guess what they did? They used that money to make the Model 3 and now the Model Y. And now it's going to be the compact car. Well, first Cybertruck, then the compact car. And if you guys think that's where Tesla's going to stop, you guys are so mistaken. They're going to bring another vehicle after that that's probably half the cost of that. Mark my words. And as well as number 4, while doing that, also provide zero emission electric power generation options. And exactly, all their vehicles, when it comes to supercharger or charging at home, all that kind of good stuff is all from renewable energy. Well, maybe not charging from home, because that's connected to the grid, which could be using gas or coal or whatever. But in supercharger, where Tesla does have control where the power is coming from, which is from renewable energy, that's exactly what it's doing. So this is a sheesh moment. Master plan number 1 has been ticked all the way through. Let's go to master plan number 2. Master plan number 2 was released on July 20th of 2016. Again, it's a long report, but he goes in depth. And obviously, if you guys want to read this again, this is also linked in the description. But in short, master plan 2 is create stunning solar roofs with seamlessly integrated battery storage, expand the electric vehicle product line to address all major segments, develop a self-driving capability that is 10x safer than manual via massive fleet learning, enable your car to make money for you when you aren't using it. So let's go one by one and let's see what Tesla has been doing. Number 1, create stunning solar roofs with seamlessly integrated battery storage. That is a tick, but not in scale yet. I think they don't have the full parts yet to do solar roofs, but they are slowly expanding on that. So I will give this a semi-tick, but they're working towards that. Expand the electric vehicle product line to address all major segments. This is a massive check mark, because after this, they got the Model 3, the Model Y, Cybertruck, and now they're working on the compact car and the van. So this is a massive check. And you know what? Tesla doesn't need to have 100 different models. They just need to have good quality products and vehicles that people are going to buy. How is it that Tesla only has 2 models, which is the Y and the 3, and is dominating every market that it enters? Every country that it enters, it dominates. It becomes the top 2. And yeah, 1 is Y, and number 2 is the Model 3. It's just absolutely insane. So that's a massive tick. I mean, just imagine what happens when the Cybertruck comes out and the compact car. It's GG. Number 3, develop a self-driving capability that is 10 times safer than actual humans driving. That is a check. We have articles coming out that Tesla's full self-driving FSD technology is making significant progress and is expected to be 10 times safer than human driver by the end of the year. Potentially FSD will be solved in 2024. Now, I'm not too sure if 2024 will be the year. Maybe version 12 coming out, sure, no longer beta, but it already is like 4 or 5 times more safer than humans driving, which is absolutely insane, but via massive fleet learning. Guys, take a look at this chart. I mean, I always bring this chart up. Look at the amount of data that Tesla has been collected since 3 years. The past 3 months, from March till end of June, was the same amount from the past 3 years, from 2021 to 2023. If that doesn't tell you anything, then I don't know what, I mean, that's how you know Tesla's going to solve FSD sooner than we think. Now, not as soon as 2024, maybe 2025, 2026, but just the amount of data that they are generating, that they're collecting, not a big fat tick yet, but it's a tick. And last but not least, enable your car to make money for you when you aren't using it. I mean, that's when FSD gets solved and robotaxi actually happens. So 3 out of the 4 things that they listed out here in Master Plan Part 2 are checked. The last one, not yet. And I'm not too sure if this will become a reality or not, if Tesla really wants you to make money from your vehicles. Not too sure about that, but let's see what happens when we keep going forward. That's Master Plan number 2. Master Plan number 3 gets even more detailed, and it talks about sustainable energy for all of Earth. So Master Plan number 1 was about how to make affordable vehicles. Master Plan number 2 was about expanding vehicles, energy storage, energy generation, and autonomy. Actually, the first time that was mentioned autonomy was in 2016. Master Plan Part 3 is all about energy. It's about, transitioning the world to sustainable energy, which if you guys know, if you're a Tesla investor, you guys know that their mission statement is to transition the world to sustainable energy. And this is how they're going to do it. And it's a lot of juicy information. So if you guys already smash that like button, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because again, this video is going to be extremely long. The link of this is in the description. I'm just going to go through the highlight part. All right, so let's get down to it. Just look at this chart. This chart is absolutely mind-blowing. Model 3 is 4 times more efficient, cleaner than a Toyota Corolla. I mean, that's just insane. Just look at this chart. It's crazy. We have Tesla here also talking about heat pumps. They do want to get into heat pumps in residential homes. And look at that. 3 times more efficient than a gas furnace at your home. You guys do know the more efficient it is, the cheaper it is for you guys, right? I mean, I hope you guys understand this. The less it uses, the less it charges you. So that's why Teslas, when you go and charge them, instead of fueling them, it's like almost 80% cheaper. It's absolutely insane. Then it goes deeper into heat pumps, talking about industrial sectors and all that kind of good stuff. It shows the charging, the thermal batteries, all that goodies, all the good stuff that you need to know about heat pumps. Personally, I'm not really interested in heat pumps. I want to see what they're doing with their vehicles, FSD, AI, all that kind of stuff. And we'll get to that in just a second. Fuel, planes, and boats. Imagine Tesla makes planes and boats. Would you buy a Tesla boat? You got your boating license. Would you buy a Tesla boat? Would you get on a Tesla plane? These are the things that Tesla could potentially make in the future. So let's see if these two will actually happen, which would be really interesting. Modeling the fully sustainable energy economy. You got a chart here showing how the demand is in every sector. Again, you guys can take a look at these charts and go more depth into it. It is interesting, but if I want to go over this, it's going to take maybe an hour, and I don't want that. So again, link in the description. Generation technologies evaluated. They got solar, onshore wind, offshore wind, hydro, nuclear. Now, it would be very interesting if Tesla could get into onshore and offshore wind instead of just relying on the sun. So this would be very interesting to see when Tesla will do this, or if they will do this. Not too sure if they will. So you got the solar PV, which is number 1 in terms of annual generation, and then you got the onshore wind, which is the second. But here's the part that I want you guys to know. Batteries for transportation, vehicles. Look at this. Compact car to be announced. Commercial and passenger vehicles to be announced. Bus to be announced or to be disclosed. Whatever, however you guys want to look at it. Just bus. Tesla's got thinking to make a bus, which is absolutely insane. But look at the compact car, guys. Annually, there's 42 million compact cars being sold. And on the yearly, it's about 700 million vehicles that are compact on the road. Geez, I wonder how many Tesla will sell when they release their compact car. It's going to be very interesting. Global fleet electric vehicles, 40 million for the SNX, 380 million for the YN3, 20 million for the Semi, 300 million with the Cybertruck and the minivan, and 700 million for the compact car, which again comes back to how many compact car is Tesla going to make. In my opinion, I do think Tesla's going to deliver over 10 million just with a compact car. It's going to be absolutely insane. Investment required for this whole thing, for our whole economy to go to renewable energy or to be under sustainable energy is only required $10 trillion, which is absolutely insane. On Investor Day, if you guys were watching Investor Day, 10 trillion is not a lot when we know that the economy, the world economy in the next 10, 20, 30 years is going to be close to over 900 trillion in terms of valuation. Whole global economy. 10 trillion is nothing compared to that. And that is a very good investment. Definitely better than fossil fuels. 20 years of investment in fossil fuels at 2022 rate of 14 trillion. 20 years investment in sustainable energy economy, 10 trillion. So it looks like it's more bang for your buck. Here's another very interesting chart. Investment required at every single category. Wind turbines, solar, vehicles. Again, you guys can pause and look at this, or check the link in the description to get access to this. Mining and refining. Obviously, we know Tesla is under mining and refining, and we just got news that they're going to be starting the refinery much sooner than we thought, which is really good because they can help themselves supply with lithium and other minerals that they need to make electric vehicles, so they don't run out of supply. So they don't say that, oh, we have supply chain issues. Tesla is vertically integrated, and this is a part of it, which is why one of the reasons why I'm all into Tesla. Other charts on vehicle and battery factories, recycling, land area needed, that's needed to go fully renewable and sustainable. I mean, look at these dots, man. Look at Asia, look at North America, barely any dots, South America and Africa. Crazy how much little land you need to go sustainable energy. It's ridiculous. Here's a cool chart that I want you guys to understand. What most people think is when we are using a resource, it's going to continue declining year over year. But what actually happens, it increases. Why is that? Well, because we look for them. You guys think that we're out of oil, we're running out of oil? We will never, ever run out of oil. Do you know how much oil there is in the South China Sea? Do you know how much oil there is in the Black Sea where Ukraine and Russia are fighting? There's a reason why Russia wants that part of Ukraine. There's a whole bunch of resources. Greenland, nothing but resources. We just gotta wait until the snow melts. You guys don't think Antarctica, underneath that, there's not gonna be any minerals? Oh boy. There's a lot more oil. I don't think, in my opinion, we still have another 40 to 50% more oil that we still haven't found yet all around the world. That includes gas and all that. We just haven't looked there. We just haven't looked. Same thing with this one, with lithium and all the other things that's needed to make electric vehicle parts and the batteries. The more we need, the more we look, the more we'll find it. It's simple as that. So there's none of this, oh, we're running out of resources. No, we have enough resources for for millions, probably billions of years from now. So let's not get panicked over that. Conclusion: a fully electrified and sustainable economy is within reach through the actions in this paper. Number one, repower the existing grid with renewables. Switch to electric vehicles. Switch to heat pumps in residential, business, and industry. Electrify high-temperature heat deliveries and hydrogen production. Sustainably fuel planes and boats. Manufacture the sustainable energy economy. Modeling reveals that the electrifying and sustainable future is technically feasible and requires less investment and less material extraction than continuing today's unsustainable energy economy. That's facts and that's true. We don't need, if we can make this investment that Tesla is, then we don't need to be pumping all this fossil fuel and all this air pollution back into our atmosphere and destroying our climate. Again, 10 trillion compared to 14 trillion, and this 10 trillion, we have it forever. We don't have to worry about anything else. We don't have to worry about relying on Russia or OPEC when it comes to fuel, and then at the pump we gotta pay more in North America and Western countries. Europe doesn't have to worry so much about Russia to be relied on them as much. So really, it's a win-win situation for everybody. Well, not everybody, but for most people. It's a win-win situation. All we need is 240 terawatt per hour storage, 30 terawatts of renewable power, $10 trillion in manufacturing investment, half the energy required, only 0.21% of land required. This part blows my mind. 0.21%, 10% of 2022 world economy GDP, which is 10 trillion, and zero insurmountable resource challenges. There you guys have it. Who wouldn't want this to happen in our planet, in our lifetime, for the next generation? Who? Let's go back to the 6 points again. Tesla released the Master Plan Part 3 on March 1st of 2023. So, repower the existing grid with renewables. That's slowly happening with their mega packs and building of their mega packs and their demand for mega packs. Number 2, switch to electric vehicles. That's happening. Massive tick right there. These two are getting massive ticks, especially switch to electric vehicles, because we have everybody in the whole industry switching, clawing and crawling to survive on switching to electric vehicles. Switch to heat pumps in residential, business, and industry. Not too sure how that's going along, so if you guys know more about this, please comment down below. Same thing with number 4. I'm not up to date with that either. Number 5, no idea if they're doing fuel planes yet, but I think that's more in the future. Number 6, manufacture sustainable energy economy. I mean, this will be the big progress bar. If all these are ticked, that'll happen. But there's something that they didn't mention in Master Plan Part 3. Where's the bot? I mean, yes, this is about, going to sustainable energy, but, as a business and with their bot and their full self-driving, they didn't mention that either. So I'm very curious to know, why they didn't add this in Master Plan Part 3. They could have added something about full self-driving and autonomy and all that kind of good stuff. Especially the bot too. I'm curious to know what that's going to be, but maybe they'll have a Master Plan Part 4 after all this. Who knows? Let's see. So now that we covered the master plans and seen how far they've come along it, let's go take a look at the numbers on how far or how on track Tesla is. Here, I made a tweet all the way on September 13th. It's actually my most viewed tweet. Over 2 million views, which is absolutely insane. But I wrote here, let's be clear. Elon said Tesla will grow 50%, I should have put average here, but every year in 2020 when they delivered almost 500,000 vehicles. So let's see if Elon kept his word. 2020, 499,550 deliveries. With a 50% compounded growth rate in 2021, that's about 750,000 vehicle delivery estimate. Actual deliveries, over 936,000. In 2022, 50% on top of the 750 estimate, that's about over 1.1 million vehicle estimate deliveries. Actual deliveries, over 1.3 million vehicles. In 2023, if we give that a 50% compounded annual growth rate on top of the 2022 of 1.1 million, we get almost 1.7 million vehicle estimate deliveries. Goal this year is 1.8 million vehicles. Most likely it's going to be closer to 1.85 million deliveries. But hey, keeping what they said of 1.8, we're going to keep it at that. So far, it's looking more than promised. If you guys want to ask me this, Tesla is actually further in the tracks. But anyways, let's go into this chart that I made over here with the estimated delivery 50% CAGR from 2020, deliveries, revenue, profit, and obviously all a prediction and a prediction alone. But take a look at this chart, guys. They did almost 500,000 vehicles, deliveries 500,000 vehicles. They said 50% year-over-year growth on the average from here. As we just saw, 2021, they beat that. 2022, they beat that. 2023, they beat that. But look at 2024. It looks like if they grow 35% and they deliver over 2.4 million vehicles, they are not on track anymore. And this continues all the way down until, 2030, where by 2030, about 28.8 million vehicle deliveries, which I don't think that's realistic at all, to my prediction of 13.8 million vehicle deliveries, which I think that is realistic.
Oh my God, Pejjy, see, Tesla's not on track to do 50% CAGR year over year.
Well, let's take a look at the revenue and profits. And by the way, this is only vehicles only. We're not looking at FSD or energy, nothing like that. So if you guys are ready, man, smash that like button. The revenue from 2020 to 2022, these are legitimate numbers. These are numbers that we actually did have. Tesla grew heavily from 2021 to 2020, heavily from 2022 to 2021. Most likely we are going to see a downtick in 2023 because they did a lot of massive price cuts. A lot of them, down 9%. But in 2024, look at that, 57% growth. 2025, 91% growth. 2026, 49% growth, 41, 44, 36, and 33%. And again, this is only vehicles. If FSD comes into play and you add energy on top of this, this is probably gonna be at least double. So of course, vehicles 50% year over year is not sustainable. But in terms of revenue and profits, 50% year over year, if you add on the other things, energy and FSD and insurance, all that kind of good stuff, it's more than 50% on the average. Sheesh! Here's the thing, guys. When it comes to Tesla, as a Tesla investor, we should not be too focused on the vehicles. The vehicles are the tools for when FSD gets solved and when the snap of a finger, that's where the most value is going to come from. In my opinion, I think Tesla's going to be growing more than 50% year over year growth just because of their FSD. The energy and all the other stuff is just a cherry on top. So really, as a Tesla investor, vehicle deliveries, yeah, they're fun to track. They're fun to see what they're going to be the next quarter or so, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter once FSD and energy comes into play. There's two things that you guys need to focus on in Q3 earnings, and I made a video about it here. As a Tesla investor, you guys have to focus on these because we're not looking at how many vehicles they're going to be selling in, 2-3 years time. Yes, that does matter. But what matters, what's the opportunity here is FSD being solved, energy, AI, and then later on, which will be the bot, but that's a whole different segment of Tesla at a later date. But for now, you guys have to pay attention to these two key things in Q3 earnings report. At the same time, guys, get your merch. I bought the dip merch or dollar cost averaging. If you guys are a Tesla bull, you guys need it. And subscribe for more, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.